Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Jasmine the Buffet Witch, but you already know that. Today we are playing with some newer makeup. I had to do a little retail therapy because I'm a little down. It's nothing that's terrible, but it just is what it is. So I had to do a little bit me time, little buying. So I did. I also went and got my nails done. I was with my friend yesterday and I got my nails done. I finally got a little cow. I've had this design in my Pinterest, on my Pinterest board for so long, and I've decided that I'm going to continue to get my nails done. I'm not trying to do dips, tips, and tricks for myself because I'm just having too much issue. So I'm going to start doing designs. So this is going to be the design until I need a fill, or until I probably will still file off the gel and then paint my nails as I see fit until I can get a fill, but I will be doing designs from now on. So cute little cow design, even though my nephew called it, he said, or a horse. I said, yeah, it could be a horse too. So that's that. But I, again, bought a few things, and we're gonna play with two of the new products, and then we're going to do an eye with products I've been using. So I've already started with a full face of foundation. I'm using the Performer from About Face. Concealer is my Nikki K Super Coverage Concealer. And to set the under eye, I finally picked up the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Silk Finishing Powder. I picked up the shade Shortbread because I got it just for my under eye. I kind of thought about getting a darker color for maybe the rest of my face, but I don't think I need a loose powder for the rest of my face. Okay, so let's make a mess. Great, love that for me. But anyways, so that's a powder. Got some on us. I picked up Shortbread because it was giving me a little bit of my Warm Saffron from Dermablend, which is my favorite powder. So anything that is similar to that shade, doesn't have to be exactly similar, is most likely going to be a win for me. So I also picked up a caboodle because I plan to do a caboodle like rotation, especially when we find a house and we move. That's what the being down is about. We put in an offer and it was surpassed by somebody. So that's sad, but on to the next. So I'm just gonna tap out any creasing on my under eye, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this. So I am not really, I'm not very demanding of my under eye products. I don't really mind a little creasage. I do have lines under my eyes. I am 36, but I've always kind of had lines under my eyes, and I kind of think they're cute. So for me, creasing has to be like really bad for me to be like, oh, I'm creasing. So I don't really require too much from my under eye powder. I just like that it meshes with the concealer. So as long as they're not warring with each other, I'm pretty lenient on setting powders. I don't really understand the whole like really being able to see if something is like blurring, or is it, you know, people are like, oh, it gives a blurred effect, a filtered effect. I don't really know what that looks like on my skin because my skin looks like skin, and I'm okay with that. So I just, you know, as long as it's not looking crazy, then I'm okay with it, because Juvia's Place already has an I Am Magic loose powder. It's like in a smaller container. Hated it. I don't know what it is. It almost felt too fine, and like it just kind of sat on the skin. Very HD, like those powders from not Urban Decay. What's it called? Makeup Forever. I remember having some Makeup Forever powder, and it was almost like a wet. Remember when Becca did that powder that was like a water powder, and it kind of felt wet when you put it on? It kind of gave me that feel, the Juvia's Place one, but it did not sit well with any concealer that I tried. So but this powder looks really good, and I like the color. So far so good. Let's move on. I did pick up another powder. I picked up the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and I picked up the shade, where are you? Deep Neutral. Looks like that might be a decent shade, maybe just a touch warm. I do not want to break these nails because, like I said, I'm trying to actually keep them on now. So maybe a little pink actually. So let's see, actually I'm gonna use this Essence brush. It's a bit looser, so not bad. What is this called? Halo Glow. I don't see any shimmer. Why is it called Glow? Does anybody know? What is the glow? Anyways. Okay. That's alright. So go right here where that powder is. I have a few more new products, but we're gonna save those for a different day. So for right now, it's pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and speed through my blush, bronzer, highlight. It's gonna be the same duo or trio because I'm trying to pan these. So Minta Cosmetics bronzer, one of the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 1 or 2, I think it's 1, depotted shades that I have, blushes, and then my Bronze Brilliance from W7 for my highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I will come back. Okay, so I am done with blush, bronzer, and all that, but I don't like, I'm not sure if it's this powder or if I just didn't put in enough. I prefer a more matte look, so I feel like I'm just going to powder around my mouth. And actually, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my little HD powder because I love this for just kind of setting things down and not being super gooey, as I call it, which is just looking a little bit more juicy than I typically enjoy. And I like that this powder doesn't really add too much color. I feel like because it is white, there is just a touch of a white cast on my skin, but after I spray my face down, then it really, disappears. But I just like to be a little bit more matte than that, at least on the chin area, okay? At least where the highlight is not, okay? So those are really nice. I do like the under eye powder. It doesn't feel heavy. The Halo Glow definitely is going to take more testing, but for right now, it's a decent color. I think I just might have to do more setting of certain areas before putting this on. So those are nice. We are going to move on to the eyes. I have pulled out my color case yet again, still using the Eclectics, which is going to be the more pastel version. And I, like I said, did some retail therapy. I actually did pick up, as long as they don't send me an email saying it's out of stock again, I did pick up the Made by Mitchell pressed curve case because I really, really wanted it. And I did pick up another mystery bag. Like I said, anytime I buy from Beauty Bay and I buy Made by Mitchell, I will be getting a mystery bag. But I also picked up, very shocking, but I did it, I think the 9-pan smoky palette. I love gray eyeshadow. It made me think about my Rebel Gray series or Spotlight. And I'm like, I just really love gray eyeshadow. And I do have the 42-pan version, but I was watching Kim's Victoria. She loves the rich, but she just bought the, I want to say she bought the 9-pan rich or maybe the 16-pan rich. And I was like, you know what, let me just go look at these real quick. And I did, so I was like, let me get this. And there is a new Beauty Bay palette, their 20-pan palette. I usually don't care for the 20 pans. I think I've only had the Wilderness. And then there are a few that I missed out on, and I really like the colors in this one. I can't remember what it's called, but I picked that up. So those will be coming in the next week or so. But yeah, so I'm still playing with the Eclectics, which again is the more pastel version. If you have never seen these before, these are by Made by Mitchell. These are multi-use paint-like products, more concealer texture, but a paint-like product that is meant to be used any way you see fit. This is the Electrics. This one is still available with the Essentials, which is of course just like essential neutral colors and whatnot. But the Eclectics, the one we're going to use today, is no longer available, which is really sad, but is what it is. Today I want to do a blue eyeshadow look. I'm boring, I'm sorry. I'm always doing blue, green, purple. I can't help it. I did do orange and yellow, so trying to make my rounds on the colors. But whenever I feel kind of down, I love dark blue, dark green, purple. Those are just comfort colors to me. So Okay, so I am done with blush bronzer and all that, but I don't like, I'm not sure if it's this powder or if I just didn't put in enough. I prefer a more matte look, so I feel like I'm just going to powder around my mouth. And actually, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my little HD powder, because I love this for just kind of setting things down and not being super gooey, as I call it, which is just looking a little bit more juicy than I typically enjoy. And I like that this powder doesn't really add too much color. I feel like because it is white, there is just a touch of a white cast on my skin, but after I spray my face down, then it really, you know, disappears. But I just like to be a little bit more matte than that, at least on the chin area, okay? At least where the highlight is not, okay? So those are really nice. I do like the under eye powder. It doesn't feel heavy. The Halo Glow definitely is going to take more testing, but for right now, it's a decent color. I think I just might have to do more setting of certain areas before putting this on. So those are nice. We are going to move on to the eyes. I have pulled out my color case yet again, still using the Eclectics, which is going to be the more pastel version. We are going to use this gorgeous color here. That is called Powder Puff, okay? So this one, I'm gonna just do one eye for you guys and then come back with the finished look, all right? Not sure what I want to do, but I want to do something. I put too much, so I'm just gonna pop this on both eyes. Gosh, I love these so much. The second I put them on, just the creativity, the ideas. Like right now, I'm just like, ooh, do I keep this blue, or do I venture into like some green? Are we gonna pull in some purple? We could even do some orange, you know, some contrasting colors, cobalt and orange, beautiful shades. We shall see. And it was just way too thick. Like it was way too heavy, way too much product. It just is not my forte. But I do want to try to get it to work. I have to do like a brow series and different ways that I do my brows, because I have not used like regular brow pencil in forever. I don't even have any brow pencils. And I was like, what? I just have pomades, you know? I had brow gel from NYX for forever, but then I got this color case and I'm like, well, this is my preferred method to do my brows now, so I literally haven't been buying pencils. So, but anyways, let's get started and pull out the Midnight palette. I think I want to keep it just blue, so let's just work down here somewhere. I always use denim. It's my favorite, and it's my favorite, so we're gonna use it. I'm gonna use denim here. Do you really care what shades I use? I just don't feel like holding the palette up. With my look today, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna just wiggle this into the socket of my eye here. And drag that down. Yeah, we definitely gotta pull some purple into this, or at least some pink. How about some pink? I was gonna say lavender, because I'm constantly putting lavender on the inner, like in here, or you know, I just love lavender all of a sudden. Lavender and coral, all of a sudden, here I am, like in peachy lips and corally lips. I never used to love coral. I remember when Nima Tang came out with her two lipstick sets with Dose of Colors, and Tina from Fancy, what the hell is a doodad? Okay, don't go down the tired brain rabbit hole of why is it called a fork? Alright. So yeah. I'm gonna pop that. I'm gonna go into the shade Rich here. And we're gonna use that to blow out our brow bone. Brow bone shade. Well, clearly this one would work. All right, well, that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna use this color. simple. And when we get over here, let's go into that purple. Looks like the purple from the Pat McGrath special like holiday palette that I have. I don't think I like. So we've deviated. So while I was watching the footage back, I realized it's just a case of too much is going on in my brain. I'm not actually sitting here and having a good time as much as I'm trying to create content. So while I was watching that, I just sat and played and just focused on the colors, focused on the blend. This arguably way better than this. So I'm gonna go ahead, swap this out for this, and I'll just come back to you and we'll do a lip, all right? Oh wait, let me clean off my eye. And I mean, do you wanna see how I did this? It's really simple. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I've reapplied everything. We've got the same color from the color case on as our base. We've got that same dark blue that we started with denim as our crease color. You are all up to speed. I didn't do too much for this eye. So yeah, I'm just blending, itching, and blending that dark color on the lower lash line, and outer V. All right. Kind of making it go out just a little bit, not too much. And now I'm going to take the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Glam Light palette, and we're going to go into this beautiful light green, and that's going to be my like blending shade up towards the brow, just a little bit, not a ton. Because I know I've done this color combo. I do this color combo quite often actually. So I don't want it to look too much like the other looks. I want it to stay primarily blue, but just a touch of green on the blend. And of course, then the lid is going to be a blue-green mix. And yes, it is a duochrome, and yes, it is from Hoarded's Eye. I'm gonna take the same green over here just a little bit, just a touch, not too much. Yeah. When I'm anxious and I'm just like trying to think about way too many things at the same time, because not only did, you know, our offer fall through and somebody else put in an offer that was accepted, but I now have another family member in the hospital, so just my brain is doing a lot, and just trying to unwind. Okay, so that's it. The blend, real simple like. And then I pulled out the Hoarded's Eye Jewel Shine Bundle. I'm sorry. What am I apologizing for? It's what I have, so I'm going to use what I have. All right. Today we are going to be using this shade. What is that one called? Lola. And there's Dom. He's coming in. He's upset because he has to come inside. Transitions are very difficult for my baby. All right. But this is a beautiful multi-chrome. It does a lot. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit in here, but mostly on the lid, because like I said, when I did the original look, it just really got away from me, and I just put shimmer everywhere, so it looked like an all shimmer eye, which has its time and its place, but it wasn't then, and it's not here, you know? That's not what we wanted. So yeah, I like to bring the shimmer up high over in the inner corner of the eye, but I want this to stay matte right there, you know? But this multi-chrome plays really well on greens and light blues and things like that, so. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that on the inner portion of the lower lash line. And I'm sure you can already guess what liner I'm using. Yeah. Tropical Green from NYX. Alright. Oh, stab. I do love a green on green. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some Lash Princess from Essence. Why not put on mascara right as your eye starts to water? Yes, definitely the thing to do. And there we go. Okay, love a good do-over, right? So now let's do a lip combo. So yeah, we've got that powder kiss over the taupe from MAC. Trying to put her into rotation. Got Peach Please. And then I do like to still put on Sheba. I just like the black to be like on the very edge of Sheba. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So nice. Tea Rose from Nikki K. My lips are a little bit dry. Oh no. I feel like this is not the right undertone for this eye. And actually, it's not the lipstick, it's the liner. The liner's too dark. Alright. We're done. I thought this would be the safest look. And it is a lipstick lip gloss that I haven't been using. I'm just wearing my Milani Rager. What is this lip? This is called the matte lip crayon, the Stay Put matte lip crayon. So I use this as a liner. And then I'm using the Fenty Gloss Bomb Stick in Riri. So that is the lip. It's like pink and green, right? They work. But anyways, that's the face. Guys, look, I'm having a rough go of it, but I think it all came together. There's nothing like a simple look. Like, I gotta get better at simple looks because they just work. They just do what I need them to do. And this is the wrong brush. That is the blue shade that we used from the failed look. Let's be done touching stuff, okay? Thank you for coming to my channel. I'm sorry if this video was, but hey, it happened like that sometimes, okay? Take good care of yourself. I will talk to you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. Until then, I wish you all the best. Take care, all right?